Lena had always been a light sleeper, so when her phone buzzed on the nights and at 2:17 a.m., she jolted awake. The screen displayed an unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. There was silence on the other end, just the faint sound of breathing. "Hello," she said, her voice groggy. The call ended abruptly. She shrugged it off, assuming it was a wrong number. But the next night, it happened again. Same time, same number. This time, she didn't answer. The calls continued every night, always at the same time, always silent. Lena's unease grew. She blocked the number, but the calls kept coming from different ones. One night, the caller finally spoke. "You can't hide from me," a distorted voice whispered. Lena's blood ran cold. She hung up and immediately called her best friend, Jake, a tech-savvy cybersecurity expert. Jake listened carefully as Lena described the calls. "This isn't just a prank," he said. "I'll help you figure out who's behind this." Over the next few days, Jake set up a trace on Lena's phone. He also dug into her past, looking for anyone who might have a grudge. The calls escalated, threats, descriptions of her daily routine, even a photo of her taken through her living room window. Lena was terrified, but Jake remained a steady presence, working tirelessly to uncover the truth. The breakthrough came when Jake traced one of the calls to a burner phone purchased at a local electronics store. Security footage revealed the buyer, Marcus, Lena's ex-boyfriend from years ago. He had been possessive and controlling during their relationship, and Lena had ended things abruptly. She hadn't heard from him since, until now. Jake urged Lena to go to the police, but she was hesitant. "What if they don't take me seriously?" she asked. "I'll be with you every step of the way," Jake promised. At the police station, Lena filed a report and provided the evidence Jake had gathered. The officers took the case seriously, especially after learning about Marcus's history of stalking. They set up a sting operation, using Lena's phone as bait. One night, as Lena sat in her living room, her phone buzzed. It was Marcus. "You thought you could get rid of me," he sneered, "but I'll always be watching." Before Lena could respond, the police burst into Marcus's apartment, arresting him and seizing his devices. He had been using sophisticated software to mask his calls and track Lena's movements. The evidence was overwhelming, and Marcus was charged with stalking and harassment. In the weeks that followed, Lena struggled to regain her sense of safety. Jake stayed by her side, helping her install security cameras and change her routines. One evening, as they sat on her porch watching the sunset, Jake turned to her. "You've been through so much," he said, "but you're stronger than you think." Lena smiled, a genuine smile for the first time in weeks. "I couldn't have done this without you," she said. "You've always been there for me, even when I didn't realize it." Jake reached for her hand. "I care about you, Lena, always have." Their eyes met, and in that moment, Lena felt a spark of something she hadn't felt in years, hope. She squeezed his hand, grateful for his support and the promise of a new beginning. As the days turned into weeks, Lena and Jake grew closer, their friendship blossoming into something more. The nightmares faded, replaced by quiet evenings and shared laughter, and though the memory of Marcus still lingered, it no longer held power over her. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the stars, Lena turned to Jake and said, "Thank you for helping me find my way back." Jake smiled. "Always," he said, and in that moment, Lena knew she was finally free.